The Simpsons Christmas special. And what's interesting about this particular special is really it's the first episode of the series.
I never really knew that. I guess I kind of did, but I never really remembered.
You didn't know that?
No, I'd never seen this episode.
See, that's what's so amazing is this episode is such an anomaly just as a thing because in addition to the fact that The Simpsons had been a short on
A series of shorts, right?
Yeah, it was a series of shorts on the Tracy Ullman show, and they were like Looney Tunes length at longest.
Yeah, they'd have them between the sketches and such.
Yeah, I think they're in fact short. Like a lot of them were shorter. Like I've watched a few online, and this, so they had time to grow and really had a lot more time to develop these characters, and that's such a huge advantage. I would say. Interestingly enough, South Park also kind of did the same thing with the whole like Jesus versus Santa thing.
Oh yeah.
And they also did they did like a Thanksgiving one too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's different than okay, we've got this show or we've got this idea. Let's just develop it and like for live action, for instance, let's develop it and shoot a pilot. This had so much time to. I guess be nurtured, have the characters be nurtured and grow into something. Yeah,
because it was already a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like they really had a huge advantage in developing it since they had so much to work with and had some finished material.
What my big, what you're going to hear me constantly go back to in this episode or in this review for this episode is just how different it is. From what I understand The Simpsons being. Everything from the certain aspects of the voice acting to how certain characters look, and how certain characters act.
Well, you know what? That's actually interesting you say that because there's one thing that I noticed because I watched this twice because I figured I just want to watch it once and then I figured I need to watch this and take some notes. So I watched this obviously a couple times. There's one thing that actually kind of stood out to me is I felt like the rest of the first season following this kind of went back on the Tracy Ullman shorts.
Really?
Yeah, I felt like this special felt like in a lot of ways certain things about the characters were present that would be more prevalent later. And then they sort of went back on them. For instance, in the first season, Homer's like character's sort of like an asshole, like sort of this like gruff dad.
Yeah.
And like that wasn't really present in this special, and I thought that was so weird how it's like he went from being gruff on the shorts, then in this was sort of more like the Homer, let's say like season 4 on.
Yeah, he's not just a big piece of shit. Like he's vulnerable. Like he makes mistakes and he's put in a position where he has to fix them, and he's very he's kind of weak in a way.
Yeah.
You feel bad for a lot of Homer, but the voice acting with him, God, it's so different. Like from what we know.
That's what I'm also saying is even his voice performance. It's like I felt like it was a slight change from the Tracy Ullman stuff. Well, a pretty decent change. But then the rest of the first season seemed like he kind of went back to that. And then eventually, because it's sort of like, Bart, yeah.
What are you, blah, blah, blah. It's
and then sort of became, I can't do a Homer voice, but you know what I mean?
It became more bubbly and...
Yeah. That's exactly how I'd describe it. More bubbly and sort of like happy-go-lucky.
Right. And that's really interesting. I never really thought that it was that big of a difference. I didn't know the gap was that big between the sounding of the voices.
Well, also just the sound. It's just one of those things you notice because it's old. The sound quality is just different.
Oh, yeah. Did you have a problem with the mix?
Not particularly.
With, like, specifically with music laying over dialogue? It might have been just because I watched this on FX Now. No shitting on FX Now, but all I'm saying is when I watched this, like, there were certain parts where I'm like, I can't hear what they're saying, goddammit. Like, somebody it was Alf Clausen doing the music?
Yeah.
I was like, I can't hear this shit. But
sure, but
yeah, it was. It is different. It's a different dose of Simpsons than expected.
Well, but for starters, first line is funny, or the first punchline is, and it's weird as I know it seems like this is the formula with its setup punchline. It's like that's comedy, but Simpsons they're so good at that you don't even notice it. And from the get-go, Homer, be careful. We're late. We don't have time to be careful. That's such a Homerism.
Right. Yeah. And then what do you call it? The Christmas pageant stuff. That was funny.
Well, see, that's what's weird too, is like, I guess that it's like, that's a weird intro for Lisa, because it's like, it kind of shows who she is a little bit, and that she's like
weird in a like brainy sense.
Yeah, she's like culturally like observant of other things and all that. And then Bart, it's just your classic Jingle Bells, Batman smells, and all that.
Very Bart.
Yeah.
Lisa's a little bit more, especially in like the post-credit scene, where it's like she's singing the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, like the little add-ins as well. And like Homer's like, knock it off, Lisa. I'm like, Lisa wouldn't do that. Like, I mean, maybe.
Well, that's what's actually interesting. I've noticed this every time I watch this, or at least the last few times, is the only time you really get a sense of who Lisa is, or like who she's going to become, like or who she's going to become later in the later episodes.
Talking about the Patty and Selma part?
Yes.
It's great.
I love that part because it's like, it's weird though, because it seems like it's just a throwaway joke, but it's not. That's like Lisa's whole deal as a person. It's like, I'd really rather you wouldn't trash my father in front of me, because he will be a male role model for my relationships down the line to come.
Yeah.
Go back to your cartoons, honey. It's classic.
Yeah. It's great.
It's weird though, because at the beginning it's just like she wants a pony. It's like, okay, so she's every girl, 8-year-old little girl
in this part of, in this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like there's nothing new there, and I'm glad they have that part.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny because it definitely does signal what she becomes later.
I mean, well, not much, or rather, you see, not signals what she becomes later, but
the intellectual Lisa is present.
Yeah, or rather, it's like that's the first dose of that we get, and it's obviously explored in the rest of season 1. Mm-hmm. And then again, it's the same thing with everyone. By season 3 or 4, it's like defined that Lisa's smart and all that shit.
Mm-hmm. I wanted some more Grandpa.
Yeah, that's one thing I thought was weird, is like he says like 2 things.
Well, and they even mention him like in the Christmas letter when Marge is narrating, like, Grandpa's doing fine or whatever, and I'm like, well, what the fuck is he?
Well, see, his character changed from being feisty to crazy.
Right.
Because like when I think of Grandpa, I actually think of the Road Rage game.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's got so many great lines. Back in my day, we called sandwiches Flat Freddy's. Cost 5 playing cards a bite. It's like, who the fuck thinks of this?
Oh, man. That's
what I mean. And Grandpa's just, in the first, I would say even the first couple seasons, he's more like, oh, he's a tough old guy. Because like the one thing you get any sense of character from is when they're watching the Christmas elf. What the fuck is it?
The elves.
Happy
show.
Little Elves.
Happy Little Elves, yeah.
Which I guess is a take off the Smurfs. He's just like, oh, unbelievable. Like he just, it's just like whatever. He hates it. And so does everyone except Lisa.
Right.
Let's see. Well, back to the letter.
Yes.
I thought that is a perfect expositional device.
And Bart. We love
Bart. Yeah, exactly. And that gives you a sense of Marge, man.
Yeah.
She's basically the glue that holds everything together. Which isn't that's not really shown particularly strongly in this episode, but eventually down the line. Like, there's one where she's gone, like, because she, like, breaks her leg or whatever.
Well, yeah.
And then it's, like, the house is, like, flooded.
Right. Well, I mean, like, you definitely do get a sense of, like, something that I think is, you could say with fair confidence, which is that Marge is pretty much the straight man of The Simpsons.
Yes.
Out of that family.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, Lisa, you could say, is a straight man as well, but she has a personality trait in that she's different, in that she's the smartest person in that family, like, classically speaking, bright. Whereas Marge is just like a normal person. Right,
yeah, exactly. So I'd say you're right. She's the straight man or straight woman of the family.
And you get that sense in this episode.
Yeah. Then you got Flanders.
Yeah.
Typical grass is greener on the other side.
This is the first appearance of Ned and Todd Flanders.
Yeah, no Rod, though. It's weird.
No Rod.
Also, the voice of Todd is different.
Yeah, it definitely
Excuse me,
didn't sound
Mr.
like
Simpson. You dropped your pork chop.
that was. Yeah, I definitely did not. It did not register with me that well. I was
Yeah.
like, that doesn't sound right. But this is our first appearance of Seymour Skinner, Milhouse, Sherry and Terry, Mo, Mr.
Sherry and
Burns.
Terry, like, what, are they on stage or something? You don't hear them talk.
Oh no, there's also Dewey Largo also.
We also get Lewis.
Get Lewis. You already said Ned and Todd. Barney Gumble. Mr. Burns. He sounds so different.
Yeah.
That was one where I was like, whoa, that's a voice that has evolved too. Like, even more so than Homer.
Well, because they I guess, like, they wanted him to be more of, like, the like, tight-fisted, like, angry CEO, at least to start.
Yeah, rather than, like, the creepy, like...
The like, withering, old man sort of, which he became.
Yeah, and that was one that really struck me. I mean, Mo, pretty much all the Hank Azaria voices.
Mo sounded exactly the same to me.
The same, yeah.
That's actually to the point where it impresses me that he could not only do, because like after a while, voice actors doing certain voices, you start to hear it a little differently. Mo, it sounds exactly the same.
Oh yeah.
So I've always felt like Hank Azaria. Man, like he doesn't get enough credit for how good he is.
No, man, and not even as just a voice actor.
I mean, I think that's the one thing about The Simpsons in general, and is prevalent in this episode, is they're all such talented voice actors.
Oh yeah, especially like I even heard a little bit of. Did you hear a little bit more of Yeardley Smith in this? Like, wasn't there? Didn't she voiced another kid or something? Something like, or no, it wasn't Yeardley Smith. It was what's her name? What's Bart?
Pamela. Oh, Nancy Cartwright.
Nancy Cartwright. I heard another Nancy Cartwright voice in this. I'm like, oh, she's also playing some other kid.
Was it the kid who was like it's like, I bet I want some Google balls.
Yeah. It was and I was like, holy shit! Like, I'd never really noticed her
That just cracks me up. That kid.
That whole scene is great. It's a great scene with well, then of course Bart comes in and it becomes an even better scene.
Yeah.
Oh man. But anyway, continue.
Well, no. If you want, did you have more to say about that?
Oh well, it was. It's just a really well constructed episode in that it kind of introduces something that we see with a lot of Simpsons and later what Family Guy would pick up on, where it's like the episode starts one way and it goes a completely different way. Starts off, Bart gets his tattoo in a really funny scene.
Oh, that's the best. I think that's the best line in the whole episode.
Wait a second. Are you 21?
No, it is like, how old are you? Why, 21, sir.
All right, get over here. Get
in the chair.
I just love that he's like, wait a second, like he is actually suspicious. But
yeah.
You see, the joke is, all he needed was Bart's validation that he was 21, and that's why it's funny, right?
Yeah, yes, that was that was the joke.
Yes, Buzz Killington.
Yeah,
that was the joke.
Buzz Killington. That was the joke.
But yeah, you think it's going to start there and be like, oh no, how are we going to get rid of Bart's tattoo? And then it becomes, how the hell is Homer going to be able to pay for Christmas this year? Because no bonus.
Right, and then it's like sort of a reverse gift of the Magi.
Yeah.
Which I thought was also very clever. It's like, well, at least he's got this. Well, at least she's got the jar. And then it's like, nope, neither one of us have it. We're fucked.
And then you get your little Santa's Little Helper origin story.
Right. Got a Homer Christmas shopping. See, that to me was like, that was Homer of the seasons later down the line. Like, ooh, paper. He can think of a million things to do with this. Like,
a chew toy.
That's
for dogs, but she can't read.
That's what I mean. Because, like, but I like that. You're right. It's a very good Homer episode because he feels badly, but he can't break the news, but he wants to fix it without having to break any bad news.
Yeah, and it's a really good introduction to Homer.
Yeah,
like he's not a shitty guy.
No, he's not a shitty guy. He has probably a crappy way of handling it because like honesty would probably be the best thing to do, but he's like, you know what, fuck it. I think I can solve this and deal with it my way, and then no one will have to know.
Right.
But the point is, he's proactive. Even though he's not the brightest guy, he's gonna try. Damn it!
You get the Patty and Selma jeering.
Yeah.
Where they're just fucking shitting all over Homer's life.
Yeah, and then of course we get Lisa's follow up.
Yes.
Let's see. Santa's Little Helper. Oh, the Santa Training School.
Nixon. What were the last two he said again? It was like some...
I can't remember. It's like... it's something ridiculous, but I love how... I just think that's a great, like, visual gag, because it's like, what is it like being a mall Santa? It's like, you just show up? Do you have to do that? They're sitting in a classroom. Just
you gotta
going,
be trained for this job?
Ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you give me fucking trained for this?
Now take it from the top. Or like, you're not the real Santa.
Yeah, who the hell was voicing that guy? Was that fucking...
That sounded like Harry Shearer. If I were to guess, I could be wrong.
God, some of them I do get a sense where I'm like, who the fuck is that? Is that Dan Castellaneta just like really morphing his voice, or maybe is it Harry Shearer doing a higher voice? I don't know.
I don't know. I think in the earlier episodes they had they'd occasionally use like random
voice actors that weren't a part of the actual cast or like regular recurring cast.
Yeah, because I know that like Russie Taylor, for instance, who does like Martin Prince.
Yeah.
She like a lot of her characters have been voiced by other people, I think.
Right.
That's what I mean. There's just certain ones where it's like, oh, it used to be Pamela Hayden and now it's whoever, you know.
That makes sense.
Or it used to be someone and now it's Pamela Hayden. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of that stuff. But the animation in general, that's one thing that's kind of insane, is just the step up it is from the Tracy Ullman stuff.
Yeah, I expected it to look a lot worse. And I guess I was thinking of the Tracy Ullman animated style when I was thinking of what I was going to get with this. And it's not. It's a lot better. But
even the rest of the first season, I feel like, isn't, like, some of it is not as... Like, there's an episode, like, where you know, in the first season where they're like, it's like Call of the Wild or something, where they're, like, camping in an RV. Like, that animation looked real old, and I felt like this Christmas special looked really good.
Well, I think that they said they originally had planned, I think they said Some Enchanted Evening.
Yeah.
Which is the one where their house is getting robbed.
Yeah.
And Bart and Lisa are hostage or whatever.
Yeah, the Babysitter Bandit.
Yeah. I think that was originally supposed to be the original premiere for the season, but I think they were having problems with animating it. So this was the one that they ended up leading with.
Well, yeah, and that's another thing that's like, that's a pretty bold move.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you lead with the Christmas special?
Lead with the Christmas special, but in a way it kind of makes sense because people watch a Christmas special, especially at the time, hey, what's this? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Right.
Oh, you mean I got to see this again? Awesome.
Right. Yeah, this episode was nominated for 2 Emmys in 1990.
Was it?
Yeah, so it did well. It also premiered with a Nielsen rating of 14.5, which is approximately 13.4 million homes tuned in.
Okay, so that's like...
In 89, that's pretty good.
I feel like that's like more than anything on right now does in one night.
Yeah, I mean, it was the second highest rated show.
Live plus same day, live plus 7 days.
Right. Geez.
For those of you playing at home, TV ratings have changed. Basically, the way it used to work is it was just in one night. But now that we've got your DVRs, your DV whatevers, your
TiVos,
your cell phones, your whatnots,
and your PSPs and your Game Boys.
Yeah, your crazy calculators,
Dreamcasts,
your TI-83s. The point is, they now have a number of different ways of measuring ratings. So 14.5 million, that's an insanely high number for anything.
Yeah, it was the second highest rated show on Fox up until that point.
Yeah. Okay, so we got the teacher. Let's see. Some of the voices are obviously different, as you pointed out, but one that bugs me, just because I know that's not him. Or that's not what the character really sounds like, damn it.
What's that?
Ralph.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even know that was supposed to be him. I'm like, what the fuck? It looks like Ralph. Is that supposed to be him? I looked up and it was.
Okay, so it is him. That's the thing.
Pretty sure, yeah.
I mean, it looks like him. There's another episode, though, with a very strange clip. Mm-hmm. Those of you playing at home, you should probably check this one out. Just search Lisa Horse Ralph different voice. It's like they're watching Lisa on her pony, and it's like, or like her horse later, and it's like an early episode, like season 2, and it's just like, wow, what a wild like woman she is or something, and then it's like, or like, what a wild horse or something, and then like Ralph just goes, yes, but what man could tame her? And it sounds like Nelson.
Weird.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's very weird sounding.
Yeah, no, that is.
But in this one, it was whoever was doing the voice of Todd. It sounded the same.
Yeah, I'm like, this sounds like a completely different person, like a third Ralph voice actor, if you will.
Also, it's just that's not the Todd Flanders that we know and love.
No.
Rod and Todd, you know.
And there's no Rod.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Is Rod not born yet?
Well, where's Maud?
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
She hasn't died just yet.
Yeah, she hasn't died yet.
not yet.
Yeah.
Spoilers, I guess, for
latter season. Wouldn't that happen like season 6?
No, that was way later. It was
8.
It was when they were starting to sort of decline. Like
Really?
it was still a good show at the time, but it was not amazing. Like, it was not the god tier Simpsons.
Right.
It was like season 11 or 12, maybe. I don't know. But moving along, I suppose.
Season 11.
Okay, season 11. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
I also love how Homer, the thing about like, well, I'll feel better when Mrs. Claus's sisters leave. What I love about that is that's Homer completely misunderstanding the point of what he's supposed to be doing. It's like, this is not a couch therapy session for you, Homer.
Right.
It's like, you're supposed to be paying attention to the kids. But like, you can't blame him because he's stressed and he took this mall Santa job.
And he's hungry. He wants a bite of the donut.
Yeah. Hey, give me a bite of that donut and we'll call it even or whatever.
Oh, man.
And of course, to bring it full circle, we get the first utterance of a classic Bart Simpson phrase. Who are you?
Oh, I caramba. Or wait, no.
No.
Was that
Who
when
are
he's
you?
getting the
I'm Bart Simpson. Who the hell are you?
Oh, yeah. Well, he says the I caramba.
What's your name, Bartner?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm Homer Simpson. Who the hell are you? Or I'm sorry, I'm Bart Simpson. Who the hell are you?
Oh, my God.
Classic.
Jesus. And, of course, you get the great moment where Bart finds out and he realizes, how not shitty his dad is, and they go cash the check.
Yeah.
It's $5 for all the deductibles from the fucking
Oh, yeah, it's
pension.
like, and then the Santa training, the costume rental. Yeah. See you next year.
Wow, $13.
13 big ones. Classic. Yeah, so there's something also interesting.
What's that?
Is how when they decide that they're going to follow Barney to the dog track, Bart mentions TV specials.
Yeah.
That you get an early usage of that meta humor that's so common today in things like Deadpool or, well, Family Guy in particular.
A lot of the deconstructionist meta humor, yeah.
Right. So he says, Charlie Brown, or it happened to Tiny Tim, it happened to Charlie Brown, it happened to the Smurfs. And then what's so amazing about that line is little did Bart know that he and his family, the Simpsons, would become a fixture of equal, if not greater levels than some of the things he listed.
That is very cool.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I never really considered it that way. Jesus. Here we are now, literally 30 years later.
Still on the air.
Still on the air.
Maybe shouldn't be,
but Jesus, I mean, it's still a fixture.
Regardless of the fact that it's been on way too long. The God tier Simpsons, that's the best TV that exists.
Yes.
In my mind.
Can't be taken away from.
No. So there's that. There's also a lot of good lines from just random side characters.
Yeah.
Can we open presents, Dad? You know the tradition, son, not till after the 8th race.
Oh, man.
And then I think the perfect Bart Homer moment is, it's a sign. It's a coincidence. Because in that moment, you realize, even though Bart, as we read from the letter, is not the best student, he's even a little wiser than Homer. But he wants to believe in his dad, and he says, you know what, fine, if you have a feeling, just go for it.
Another funny joke is when they're finally waiting for Santa's little helper to finish the race.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like super awkward. They're like, oh, let's just leave.
Oh, yeah, he's like, I'm not leaving till till our dog crosses the line. Oh, forget it, let's just leave. And that's what's interesting is another kind of flip flip things on their head. So, The Simpsons, and as many people like to say nowadays about subverting expectations, in the classic, Christmas special, maybe Santa's Little Helper would have won, but he loses. But does he?
No.
He doesn't.
He wins a family.
Santa's Little Helper wins a family.
He sure does.
He's
a Simpson.
Yeah, he's a loser. He's a Simpson.
It's a great line.
It is. It's great.
It's a very Homer redeeming line. You're like, you go, Homer.
Yeah, and as we know in the Grift of the Magi episode, this is 1 Christmas Homer saved versus 8 he ruined.
Yeah.
And 2 were kind of a draw. Well, could this one be a draw? Could this be the draw he's talking about? Or it's like two were kind of a draw. Well, and that's the other thing, I guess, is I guess the reason why there's so many other great Christmas episodes is, you get your footing down by making your first episode one. You're bound to have some good ones down the line.
Could you imagine if they led with the Treehouse of Horror? That would have been so weird.
That's something I just don't understand how you could do.
Because that fucks with the format.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what? Wait a second. The last show was like a series of vignettes.
Yeah.
Why is this episode like an A story, B story?
Well, I heard, I don't know if this is true, but I'd heard something along the lines of they wanted to do that with Halloween. But it's like you made the first 2 movies like part of the same story.
Right.
And then 3 Season of the Witches came. It's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, no. That didn't work out. Well,
no.
Depending on who you are, maybe it did, but
well, I like it. It's just not. It's not like.
Not amazing.
It's not Michael Myers.
Yeah, no.
But back to The Simpsons.
Yes,
that's the subject at hand.
This was a bold foot to lead with.
It
a
sure
Christmas
was.
episode, as we said. But
Also,
good message.
Yeah, good message. But one again with the meta Bart. TV betrayed me.
I love that. Fucking.
It's like
it's great.
Yeah, but I think the message I got from this is it wasn't like, don't be a jerk, go to Christmas and stuff, like Christmas Carol and like that stuff. Like, don't be a stingy dick, like spread the wealth or whatever. This was simply, it's an old phrase, but when life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
Yeah, it's that, and it's also, I feel like, a dash of like, Christmas isn't about the presents. It's about what you make it. Well,
it's about dogs.
It's about dogs and family, and how dogs make families better.
Right.
God damn it.
Yeah, it was simply about growing the family.
Right.
And that Homer was, he was going to make his big confession.
But it didn't matter.
But then Bart's like, let me save you.
Yeah.
I got this, brah.
Exactly.
He did not say that exactly, but maybe he would.
Maybe he would have in 2017.
In 2017, while he's hoverboarding with his vape pen. No, that's a Bart I don't want to see.
No, maybe in the reboot.
You shut your face.
I'm pushing all the wrong buttons.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this is a... I never realized how much of a mainstay episode this would be, because I didn't know how... This episode has a huge following.
Yeah.
Like, it's been looked at contemporarily, and, like, people have praised it and stuff. And I had no idea this was the first episode of The Simpsons.
I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, I guess because Simpsons grew to the phenomenon it is, it just didn't have a typical story. As I'd mentioned, from the years of Tracy Ullman, and then this being the bold step forward.
Yes. It's definitely different. But it worked out, and boy did it work out.
Yeah, so I mean, rating, like, scores.
I don't know, how do you rate a single episode of a show?
Oh, you can do it, like
okay. I'd give it like a 7?
Oh, how dare you.
I mean, it's good, but like, it's not an amazing Simpsons episode. It's like...
No, that's true.
There are way better ones than this. It's good.
It's like, overall, like, the comedy, for instance, like, it's good and it's clever, but there's only a few, like, gut busters.
Yeah.
Like why I'm 21, I think that's my favorite line. The eighth race.
Yeah. But, yeah, you can definitely tell, like, they haven't hit Simpsons' stride yet.
That's another thing that's interesting is shows used to take a little while to, and well, I guess it's kind of interesting because that's one of our complaints with the hour-long format is we think it takes too long to hit the stride.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's different because it's like you're entertained. I'm still entertained by this episode just as a standalone thing.
Right.
I'd give it about an 8.
That's not much higher.
Okay, fair enough.
But what is that? Oh, so you're rating out of 10.
Oh, fuck that. Sorry.
I poisoned you with my 10 out of 10ery.
You disgust me. For those of you playing at home, normal people rate things out of 5.
Yes, so that's a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
So that's an 11 out of 15. That's pretty good.
11 out of 15 is our score for the Simpsons Christmas special. I guess the one thing I'll close off with is, do you notice how they actually did a really good job of not making it too, like, sappy or overly sentimental?
Oh, yeah.
Well, especially the part where, like, Bart has that little, like, heart-to-heart with Homer in the, like, Santa hut.
Lodge.
And he's like, don't get all sappy on me now. We got work to do.
Right.
And I enjoyed that it just, I think, tonally, this did everything right. Because you got a little bit of the family stuff. You felt, sympathy for Homer trying to do his best. And the comedy was there. And as you said, hadn't hit its stride quite yet, but this was a very, very strong beginning.
Would you call it brave?
Sure.
I'm just using buzzwords.
No. Okay.
It's a good episode.
See, I kind of felt like I was like, where's he going with this? No, you know what? Fuck that. It's not brave.
It's cowardly. It's a very cowardly
episode.
very
cowardly. How dare they? Using a Christmas special to hide the fact that you're not ready to have your other episode air first. You disgust me. Anyway.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. So 11 out of 15. That's it for The Simpsons.